Welcome, everyone. My name is Robin Elander. I'm the executive director with Downtown Santa Barbara, and I'm here today with Adrienne Smith with Power of Your Own Yoga Studio. Welcome, Adrienne. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me, Robin. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too. And also here with Junior Loza with Distinctive Framing in Art. How are you doing today, Junior?
Doing great. Thank you again for having us.
Of course. So this is an ongoing collaboration between the downtown organization and the Santa Barbara Independent, where we highlight our different business community members, share a little bit about what they're doing, the history of their organization. So we're going to get right into it today. Adrienne, why don't you dive in first, if you don't mind? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Sure. So I got started with Power of Your Own back when I lived in the suburbs of Chicago, prior to moving to Santa Barbara. And then when I moved here in 2010, shortly after that, I opened Power of Your Own in downtown, in Victoria Court. And so I started, we're celebrating this October. It'll be our 13-year anniversary. And I got started in the business of yoga after leaving the corporate world, and I knew that there was something else for me to do, to use my passion and gifts. And how I've done that is by helping people access freedom in their bodies and their health in their bodies and their spirit and, love in their heart through the practice of yoga. So that's the beginning of this adventure.
Hmm. Well, I'm gonna excited to have you share, some of the diversity of your adventure because I know you've been doing some amazing things in the past couple of years, and I know you're scheming up new good stuff. But before we go into all of that, I would love to hear a little bit from you, Junior. Tell us a little bit about your journey with Distinctive Art and Framing. You've been there for quite some time, right?
Yeah, so gentlemen, before myself started this business 21 years ago. It was actually a franchise. Kind of a funny story was at the time when he bought into the franchisee, he had no idea how to frame. So at the time I was working at my dad's frame shop in Ventura, and he trained with us for a year and a half. That's how the relationship started,
Hmm.
with him getting into custom picture framing. Came up here, did his thing, took on his own name, built his clientele, built the business up to what it was. And then in the process that I worked with him for roughly about 17 years off and on, just helping out here and then helping out at my dad's shop. And then he was ready to retire. So, my wife and I, basically he told us, look, I'm ready to retire. I know you're interested. You've been with me for a long time. This is what I'm looking to do. He made it super easy, super easy. The transition was very old school. And here we are now.
And wow, all right. Well, and that's quite something to share too, because Dave Lombardi, who I believe you're speaking about,
Yep.
has a long history with downtown, but also with our organization. At
Yeah.
times, he was the board president at different times and has helped us serve through many different transitions downtown. And it's wonderful that he's, transitioned out of into retirement from the organization you're working with. So tell us a little bit more about, what distinctive framing in art is, but also what your stamp is that you're putting on it now.
So we specialize in custom picture framing, interior wall design, of all kinds. Um, it's pretty much anything and anything. I mean, you could possibly think of as far as framing, interior wall design. We work with a lot of interior designers. As far as myself, I started with my dad. He's got a business 30 plus years in Ventura. And that's pretty much kind of where I got started in it at. So it's just, when I took over, there wasn't a whole lot of changes. When my wife and I took over, there wasn't a whole lot of changes that we wanted to make. There was some stuff that we wanted to update. Dave was up there in age. I love you, Dave, but he was was just kind of just set in his ways. So there was some things that we changed, and everything that we've changed and continue to do has all been positive. It's been really great.
Awesome. You guys have had a long following from our community, I imagine, over the years. And I had something framed there quite some time ago. I think it was one of those really cool, or at least I felt they were cool, but national park posters that, they have those different ones from the different ages. And I
Yeah.
still really enjoy that piece. I've got a nice, cool blue, beautiful frame that I love.
Yeah.
Well, it's so exciting, Junior, to learn about what you're doing and now that you're at the helm. We're going to come back to you in just a moment. And Adrienne, tell us a little bit more about what you've been up to recently. I understand you've been doing some yoga classes on the pier and that you have some other programs in the works. Tell us more.
Yeah, I've been over the last 2 years. So it, started with, I took an adventure across the Pacific Ocean 2 years ago.
Yes, tell us more about that. For people who
Yeah.
don't, this is quite the adventure.
So I got asked to be on a team of women that were training to potentially break a world record rowing across the Pacific Ocean from San Francisco to Honolulu. And we did that. So there was a team of 4 of us that rowed from San Francisco to Honolulu in June of 2022. And while I was on that trip, so it took us 34 days, 14 hours and 20 minutes to row a boat from San Francisco to Honolulu. And we broke the previous world record by a day. And the record still stands. It's been 2 years. So really proud of us. And so much of that adventure really taught me that there's only so much in our life that we can control, and really there's so much that we can't. And so, that was a trip across the water where, 4 really amazing athletes and women that got together to do something, but so much of our success was based on communication and also just really chance and the weather having a part in that, and the current and the waves and the wind, and as hard as we could try to do things at different times, and how hard we could try to row, it didn't always matter, and we would just get kind of pushed based or not pushed based on what nature had to do with what we were up to. And so that being said, while we were out there, I had given someone over the responsibilities of handling the back end of my business. And when I got back in my business being the yoga studio, and when I got back, it was my background prior to this rowing adventure wasn't rowing, it was triathlons. And I got back and I was like burnt out to the max. It was post COVID. We were still even on the heels of it, where when I first met my teammates in San Francisco, like we were still wearing masks, and COVID was really terrible for a yoga studio. And when we got through to the other side, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know if this is still it. And so over the last 2 years, I've been getting more clear on how I want to spend my time and what I want to offer to the community. And really, truly, my yoga studio, which is, like I said, it's been in Victoria Court for the last 13 years. We have a beautiful, beautiful view of the San Ynez Mountains and a really thriving community of people, not only that come as clients, but the teachers that work there and the staff that helps make everything run on the backside. And it's really powerful to hear from, we just put out a survey, and just hearing and getting input of like what's working for everybody, what's not working, and just hearing what people have to say from their standpoint, because I know what it looks like from my standpoint.
Sure,
and sometimes as a business owner, we can get caught in the weeds. Like I'm sure you, Junior, like I got in this because I want to frame, and then you have to handle all these other things, and staffing and scheduling and power outages. And now this week it's going to be 100 degrees and I'm running a hot yoga studio. It's like, should we do air condition? Because most people in Santa Barbara don't have air condition. And so it's just, that's not what I thought. I mean, just earlier today, I was, installing a new hand sanitizer and like chalkboards on the walls. And so, like I said, when I first got into this, it was so that I could move my body and not sit behind a computer. And then
now it's kind of the opposite.
Right. And I'm only teaching a couple classes a week. And so all that being said is I've learned that I need to make sure that I give myself time for creative projects and outlets so that I can still keep my business thriving. And, my version of success of what business looks like is different than other people. And over the last, like I said, 2 years, I've been looking into exploring different things and handing over some parts of my business that I didn't want to work on anymore, like the administrative stuff. And yet at the same time, that stuff has to get done. Someone
Sure.
has to do it, and it comes at a cost. And then what is that cost? And if I'm doing that, then I'm not doing something different or something else. And I have a 7-year-old and she's done with school at 2:40. So, and on Wednesdays at 1:30. And so it's like how to run a business and do all these things, especially as a mom, and practice my yoga because I want to actually be keeping my body healthy, but not also losing my mind in the mix of having to get all these things done. But like I said, I spent some time figuring out where I wanted to spend more time. And so I started doing some creative projects with sound meditations, and I put on a huge wellness festival this last April called Sunsender, where we rented out the city college lawn and had a yoga class followed by a dance party with 3 different DJs, all in the morning, no drinking, focusing on wellness and health, and had different businesses from the community there. And I've started sharing some work in the psychedelic department with the community and introducing people to different forms of healing. And it's been everything that I've experienced that's helped me get more clarity, more creativity, more in touch with myself, better related to my husband, and being a better mom, that I'm just trying all these different things and seeing what works and sharing them with people. I like to say that I like to, I'm flying the plane as I'm building it. And so I try different things on and share them with the community. And then some things I'm like, I'm never doing that again. And other things I'm like, oh my God, this was a home run. I'm going to offer this again and change it a little bit.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all of that, because I'm sure that so many other business owners, some that have been on this program, others, we have 1,700 business owners downtown. They're all figuring it out along the way. And, so many people have made pivots, whether it's during the pandemic or just in general. I think it's really valuable to tell that story as to kind of how to keep growing, not only personally, but professionally, and how that can transition into your business and in your life, and kind of those projects that help to kind of open those spaces for you and for others. Because when you're making changes, it creates opportunities for others as well to kind of step up and to support you and to, like, change themselves. So love all of that,
Yeah, thank you.
of course. And so I did see it looked really special, your Sun Sender event. Tell folks more. Are there anything like that coming up that people should be aware of?
Yeah, that's a great question. I promised myself over after the event that I was going to take a pause, because I, like, the week afterwards, I was like, I'm going to do this again, and I'm going to do it in the fall. And then I was like, oh my gosh, that was a lot of work. Let's see what I really want to do with it. So summer happens, obviously, with a kid. It's, they're off school, and I promised myself that I was going to wait till September. So we're in the first week of September, and I'm starting to strategize with some people about different things that we'd like to offer up and people we want to partner with. So we're definitely going to be doing some events in the future. I'm working on a wellness walk, and instead of like a bar crawl. So we're looking to plan something for November where we start at the yoga studio with some yoga and breath work, and we make our way down State Street, stop at a few places along the way to do some community connections, eat some food, and possibly do a little sound meditation at a spot, and then end up at the beach for an ocean plunge and a dance party. So
That sounds like
that's,
quite a walk. That's
yeah. So
incredible.
just, people do these bar crawls where they start at Harry's and then work their way all the way down to like Sandbar. And the whole goal of this is to channel that like inner kid-like energy that all of us have. And if we were to look at our, 8-year-old self, is like, what does that version of us want to be doing more of? They don't want us, complaining about life and sitting behind a computer screen and like just, punching the clock. And granted, some of us love to do some of the things and spreadsheets and like our natural gifts are those kinds of things. So like do more of that, but we also need to play. And so that's what this event is. The overall mission of it is to create more of that kid-like energy so that we can thrive in all the areas of our life, especially with our, relationships that are the most important to us, like our families and with our coworkers and so that's coming up possibly November. And then we're just talking about different partnerships with other businesses that can recreate this energy in different venues.
Awesome. Well, that sounds like fun. I definitely need to come on this playful walk throughout downtown. I love that idea. And if you want any additional ideas as to where all to play, the nooks and crannies, happy to support you with that.
Yeah, I'll definitely be reaching out. We're just in like the brainstorming phase of it and seeing like, okay, where do we need permits? Where do we need to get permission? Where can we just like, slide through and not have it be this, big to do.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. Well, we'll come back to you in just a moment. Junior, tell us more. So you've taken over this business about how long ago, and what kind of things are coming up in the near future? If people are interested in learning exactly where you're located, tell them the address and maybe the website people can take a peek at.
So we're coming up on 2 years that we've actually been on our own. Like I said,
Great. Congratulations.
thank you. Transition was super smooth. A lot of the clientele, I kind of already knew again, so it was just super smooth, just, doing that transition. As far as upcoming events, stuff like that, we do the Thursday art walks. We're kind of new into this, so we're kind of interested in anything that's going on. We're open to anything that's going on. We've got a few artists here because we've got a small gallery here that we feature. We've talked about doing, art show setups and displays with them, not only on the Thursdays, but aside from that. Super easy to find us. We are literally, it's funny because when somebody calls and asks where you're at, I said, if you're staring at the Arlington Theater in the middle of the street, we're about 5 doors to your right. And everybody knows where the Arlington Theater is, yeah, like I said, we would love to get more involved. Like I said, we're just kind of fresh into this. So we're kind of just poking at different avenues and seeing what works for us.
Well, great. Well, you're in the right spot. We'll get you involved with all the things.
Definitely.
And there's so much community downtown to take
Yeah.
advantage of. And I think First Thursday is a perfect place to be doing that. I'm excited that you're participating in that tomorrow. I guess what I'll do also is just kind of transition into some things that are coming up with the downtown organization. So you all can be aware of those, but also
Yeah.
the community can kind of find out what's happening. So yes, First Thursday is tomorrow. So our September event for those who are listening live, it's tomorrow from 5 to 8. We've got about 25 different locations throughout downtown that are hosting artwork, where they're doing music. So lots happening in that space. Many have food, wine, drink. If you haven't been to this event, you're certainly missing out. It's kind of one of those events that you've got to just kind of enjoy and stroll. Also, we are just about to kick off Kicking Country, a line dance series every Wednesday in September in front of APNA and Best Barbecue on State Street. So you can enjoy a free country line dancing class with instructor Christy from UCSB is going to be out there. This is her. We're excited about her return because she brings out quite a group of people, and it's so much fun. So I will be out there dancing this evening. And then we have this Saturday, I believe it is, we have a salsa dance class taking place. So you can find out all of these things and more on our website at downtownsb.org. I'll share a few other ones. September 14th is our Brew Fest coming up. We have about 14 different breweries, local craft breweries that you can give a taste, try. We also have Wild Works is a local brewery as well, but it has kind of a different take on it. So excited about that. And then all of September, we're highlighting our local retail boutiques. So we have our second annual Shoptember campaign just getting started. And so we have really great camaraderie going on right now in our retail community. And so we just hosted a launch event where we brought together that retail community. And that is a space, Junior, that's a great place for you to be part of. And we're hosting a sip and shop event at the end of the month on September 28th from 1 to 5. So this is kind of like a First Thursday, but it's really retail oriented. And it's a great way for people to get to know the people behind the businesses that make them special. So for anyone who's curious to learn about any more of that, again, the website is downtownsb.org, and you can find out all of the different events and programs that we have going on, as well as get to know over 1,700 businesses throughout downtown. We have a number of different ways that you can find them. And we lost Junior there. Hopefully he can join us, come back to in just a moment. But Adrienne, I'm going to throw it back to you. Is there anything coming up in the near future that you would like folks to know about? Where exactly is your location, and what is either your website, or how can people find you?
Yeah, this weekend specifically, there's the She is Beautiful race that's going
Oh,
on
that's right.
downtown Chasehome Park. And I will be leading a free yoga class at 5:15 on Friday. And then after the race, there's a couple just little stretch sessions that me and one of my instructors will be leading, as well as September 29th, we'll be back on the wharf for Yoga on the Wharf, which is a free class. It's a Sunday morning. It's at 9 a.m. People can sign up on our website they don't have to sign up for the She's Beautiful race to even participate in the class, but to do the Yoga on the Wharf class, if you go to my website, which is powerofyourown.com, so it's OM, so it's play on, power of your own. And you can sign up for Yoga on the Wharf. Again, it's a free community class. We'll be accepting donations at the Wharf. And again, that's September 29th at 9 a.m. I'm excited, we're doing on the 14th, the same date as your Brew Fest, we're launching a lot more classes at our studio. So Saturdays are going to be a full day of opportunities for people to come in for yoga. And one of my good friends just started a mobile IV business. And so she'll be offering up B12 shots all day in between classes at the studio before and after class on the Saturday, the 14th. So just different ways for us too that we want to highlight and collaborate with different businesses. We are going to start a program called Sunday Service, which from 4 to 5:30 on Sundays, there'll be just a rotating mix of different types of classes. So everything from sound meditations to breath work, as well as physical yoga classes, having just something to do on a Sunday afternoon that might be a little different than the typical beach scene. So looking forward to that starting. And again, all this stuff is on our website, under schedule or under events at powerofyourown.com. And our Instagram also is a great place to look. You can see that at, just Power of Your Own on Instagram is where we post like the most up-to-date pictures and events, the things that are going on. And you don't necessarily need to sign up for classes in advance.
All right. Well, so many good things that you are producing and creating community around. So thank you for that, Adrienne. Thanks for all you're doing. Sorry, we lost you there for a moment there, Junior.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries, it happens. Is there anything else that you wanted to share before we hop up? We're just about to wrap up the show. Is there, just remind people you said your address and where can people find you online?
Yeah, so our address is 1333 State Street. Like I said, again, the best way to find it is if you're staring at the Arlington Theater in the center of the street. We're about 4 or 5 doors to your right. We're mostly active on our Instagram page, and that is distinctive_framing. That's pretty much where we're mostly active at. Or you can email us at distinctivepictureframing@gmail.com. It's pretty much it. I mean,
All right. Well, all of that sounds great. Thank you so much, Adrienne and Junior, for joining us for the show. If you are excited to learn more about different downtown businesses and hear their stories, you can rewatch any of the business spotlights. At this point, I think we might have as many as 500 different individuals that have been interviewed over the last several years. And it's been such a joy to be part of the conversation with these folks and get to know everyone. So we'll see you around downtown. We'll catch you soon.
thank you so much.
All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.